right, this is the recording of the second round of the 2025 IKS Kriegsspiel tournament. We're doing a pseudo battle of Hoover's Gap, and I am with the Confederate team, which is the Little Wars TV Discord Minutemen, and with Hardy and Claiborne. So you guys have been marching since the early morning, following behind Breckenridge's column. He's turned north, and you guys are passing through Fairfield at this very moment, coming up on the river and the bridge, heading east. What are your orders?
Claiborne's in my lead. I just want to make sure that he's got some skirmishers out, and we're going to proceed along the pike at a normal pace. And we're looking for a turnoff on the pike once we go up the hill.
Okay.
I'm going along.
Alright, I'm just moving it as you give orders. Alright, thank you. All right, General Thomas. So I can't remember the name of the home, but I think you're at the where you wanted to be.
Yeah. The Signally Farm or whatever
Singley
it's
Farm.
called.
But yeah, you got
Singleton.
Singleton. You got Negley's column passing by. You estimate it's about halfway past at the moment. And other than that, all's quiet. Semi-warm June morning.
Very well. No orders right now. Just gonna let them pass by and wait for the rest of the army to come up.
Got it.
We can tweak it later.
All right, General Brennan. You know what?
Hello.
I always assign myself to you without even realizing it, which is funny.
Well, you're probably the only person who could put up with me.
Maybe that's it.
You are a pretty patient guy.
So you've been marching all morning. You were following behind Negley, but he split off heading southwest at Beech Grove. You took the southern route and are passing by some lovely hills and trees and forest and farmland. What are your orders?
We will continue down this road as indicated to the McBride Bridge. Actually, we want to be crossed over. Where are the crossing points? Where can we cross?
I think.
Can we cross anywhere, or can we only cross at a crossing?
Oh, sorry. I understand your question. Yeah. So most of the streams in this area are fordable anywhere. Obviously, it's slow to do it without a bridge, but pretty much all the water streams around you currently are fordable. As you get further south, it gets wider, and that becomes less true for the main river.
All right, let's go down to McBride Bridge and Crow Ford.
Okay.
We're going to continue on the road for now. All right, so looking at our original battle plan, folks, let's take a look at that. I have screenshots of that from yesterday, I believe, when we had a planning session, and it does not look like.
Hey there, James.
Hello. All right, G Puzzle. Thank you for coming.
So,
So I'm gonna give you. Let's see. Let's keep myself honest. I'm gonna give you.
Hey James, so is movement like changed this turn? Because Big Panzer seemed to think he was only going to be on like 4 grids, like the Mormon farm here.
Well, I think he can go beyond that.
Yeah, so it's still like the full 10 for like columns on good roads.
Yeah. He
Okay.
I mean, was he ordering to stop there, or was he just thinking that's as far as he could get?
He thought that like he wasn't even going to reach the farm this turn.
Oh, I don't know. No, he could. He can get as far as he
Yeah,
can.
yeah. I just wanted to make sure.
All right, so G puzzle. I'm gonna give you Brennan, which is over here. That's Marshall.
Oh.
And
I see Brandon.
the other ones are the two Confederates are co-located, so I'll just take them together. That's it for now. Just that one to start off with, and we'll resituate depending on what they do.
How many grids would you say 100 paces is?
Have you already taken a Marshall's
Screenshot? No, you can do that. Get rid of that arrow. So it's gonna be 1040. 100 paces. Yep. What? Who's asking about 100 paces?
What? So Negley is sending out a man 100 paces ahead of the column, I guess, as a scout.
Oh, that's always the case. I assume that's abstracted. So like if they run into each other, the skirmishers are gonna hit each other first.
Even though he's sending out like a single man, just some guy named Jim.
Oh well, there's okay. There's a lot of okay.
He shot.
100 paces would be like a tenth of a mile. We can say it's not a lot. Like
okay. I'm gonna put a
What's
piece
that
just
scale,
so I.
Okay, that's a mile. A mile is.
Miles 10 grids.
Yeah, 10 grids.
10 grids. I don't have the grid available, the grid option available because I'm not promoted.
Oh, let me promote you. I didn't promote you, and you kept getting kicked. But
yeah,
you're both promoted.
Wait, you need to be promoted to see like the grids.
I guess so.
Yes, weird. You do. At least on my end, you do, because I cannot see the grids at all. Because you need to be able to enable see the grids itself, and that's not something you can do if you're not promoted. For reasons beyond us.
Everything moved?
I have Rousseau and Stewart done.
Okay, yep. So 1040, go ahead and do your screenshots. There's a lot of woods and stuff to limit the screenshots, but generally speaking, they'd be like a mile. And you can tell the terrain. Most of where they're at is flat, but it's actually a 3D map, so you can, if you're not sure where there are hills or not, you can zoom in and get close to see.
Oh, we're getting fancy with this one.
Yeah, this one's Gobbler's super map, which I love.
Yeah, it's a very good map. A lot of good memories. Notable for maybe my favorite dispatch of all time.
The one that I caused.
Yep.
That's probably
the very same.
That was a fun game.
You know what you know very well I'm talking about.
Wait, so is it 1035 or 45?
1040. Did that clock get messed up?
Okay.
1040.
Because we're doing 20-minute turns, aren't we?
Yeah. Don't forget your screenshot, G puzzle, for Brennan.
Yep, I've taken the screenshot and I'm editing it right now.
Okay, just making sure.
Oh. Yep.
All right, then I'm going to go down for the next turn. All right, General Thomas, all's quiet at your temporary HQ. The Singleton family is quite accommodating, not wanting to anger a general. Negley's column continues to pass by, and that's it.
Yeah, no new orders.
You're probably gonna be easy for a little while.
Yeah, it's easy fight so far. We'll see once things heat up.
He's back.
I'm back. All right, you guys continue marching down the road, passing over the bridge, and actually passing over as we speak, onto the other side. Not much to report. All's nice and quiet.
Yeah, so we've got that kind of a open space, and then we start up the hill into the woods, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so as we approach that hill in the woods, I want to make sure my skirmishers are way out in front of us. In fact, and then we'll be looking for that left turn. If we get to about the middle of that hill.
Yep.
If we get to that farmhouse on the right down the road, we've gone too far.
All right. Yeah, you got.
Yeah, we want that left turn coming up here soon.
Yeah. And if I have anybody mounted on my staff, I'm gonna send them out with the skirmishers. I don't need a messenger for the commanding general since he's riding with me.
Your officers look a little stricken and worried.
We were actually just discussing that.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a surefire way to get a promotion.
Did you already get him, Slock?
What was that?
Did you already get your updates?
Yeah, we're just in Marching Simulator with my two guys.
It's gonna be a bit of that for about 3 to 4 more turns. But I didn't want to start. I wanted a little bit of marching and not like a straight up meeting engagement with little maneuver.
Right.
So it's a necessary evil.
Yeah, I think the last game we did, we kind of forego the Marching Simulator part a little bit with McPanzer, but other than that.
Which game was that?
Yeah. Not this week's Starfighter game. It was the last week's one, the 1809 game. Austria and France.
Oh, I gotta jog my memory.
Yeah, I'm having a little bit of trouble with connecting to Brandon's channel, specifically because I've been trying to join that and it seems to get stuck on DLTS connecting.
That's weird. But okay.
It works fine for the others. I'm gonna give it a shot again.
Let's go there and try it one more time, and I'll get his orders if not. We can switch around. All right, so I can connect. Let's see if G-Puzzle.
Yeah, I hear you fine, James.
I think for whatever reason he didn't have trouble on the Umpire channel, but he can't connect here, which is strange.
Do we need to try a different channel?
Yeah, let's try.
Why don't I go to voice 5?
See if that makes any difference.
Do you hear me here?
All right, G-Puzzle, how about here?
All right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, there we go.
That's so weird. Okay.
Okay.
That was, yeah, that's just Discord being weird.
Yeah.
So anyway, Brandon, you are
Howdy.
you're marching down the road. You're beginning to cross one particular ford on a road out. You see no enemies anywhere in the area. It's a bright and sunny day, and the column is long, and they're cheering. They're singing Joan Brown's body in increasingly bizarre ways. What are your orders?
Well, as much as I would like to stop and take a break and enjoy this beautiful day, let's go ahead and get across Crow Ford and continue. Let me see where I want to make my turn. Yep, just get across Crow Ford and continue south.
Excellent.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right. So there we have it, folks. We're updated. We got our orders turned in. So we are going
Is oh, XTX isn't here.
Waiting on him to move the. There he is.
Is second brigade not moving under?
Oh yeah, I'm just moving them now.
Oh, okay.
Wait, Brekovich. Yeah, I moved Brekovich.
No, I mean this brigade that's sitting way down here.
I had Brekovich. He only gave me Brekovich and Negley.
Oh, his division is the 3 brigades, so these ones down here should be marching up
Oh, okay.
to join him, unless he gave orders.
I thought that was a separate player.
No,
My bad.
no worries. Yeah, those 3 are all under him.
Is that the same for? Okay, no. Okay, there is a separate player here, Thomas.
Yeah, each player has 3 brigades.
2.
The CACs?
The CACs don't have anything reporting to them.
Well,
Alright, so everyone's moved.
Oh, 1 second. Let me finish moving.
I gotta
Negley's
move.
brigade.
I gotta move Rousseau towards the end of the line here. There we go.
what is Thomas doing with leading a lone brigade?
Who?
Oh, that's part of Negley's. I just haven't moved it yet.
Oh, and I don't think anyone's written any dispatches yet, but like normal, you're responsible for the dispatches written for your people to deliver them. And we'll
I assume that we're not just doing next turn deliveries, since this is a bit more.
We're gonna be more exact about it. So
How far do we want a courier to move?
About 3 miles in a turn. So if we have to, we can put courier tokens on and track it.
Of course, slow them down if they're moving through like active war zones.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Just we'll play it by ear as they write them, and depending where they're going.
Also, down here, Brekovich said you wanted to climb the hill. I don't really think there's like a hill here. Is there is there a hill here? I thought it was fair.
Right here, that would be hard to get up. But
No, he was talking about like the intersection here. But there was like a hill nearby from the elevation lines.
Tiny.
Oh no, he just wants to climb on the shoulders of a guy called Hill.
Yes.
Hey, Slock, make sure. Oh no, it is. Never mind. Sorry. Yours didn't look.
What were you gonna say?
It didn't look like your screenshot was north up, but it was, and you're good. It looks too good to be true because it was so even. All right, I think we're good. So 11:20.
11:20. I thought it was 11 o'clock.
Nope.
It's 11 o'clock.
We just did 11. Oh wait, no, I'm ahead.
No, we just
Sorry.
did 10:40.
I already did screenshots for 11. All right, it's 11 now. Go get orders. All right, gentlemen. You continue your
Yes, sir.
march, and the fabled left turn that you've been so worried about appears into view ahead of you. No contact or anything from your skirmishers and your worried officers whom you've sent ahead on horseback.
We're going to pretend we're at NASCAR and churn left.
All right. Thank you. All right, General Thomas. not much to. Oh shoot! I think I took your screenshot too soon. The last of Negley's column is passing by now. So.
Yeah, I don't think this is the same. I think this is just the same. Is this the same screenshot?
It isn't, but it's he hadn't moved his column forward. Let me do another screenshot for you.
All right.
I thought he had already moved. I was too fast on the gun. I thought he had moved it already, but he hadn't.
Okay. All right. I understand now.
Yeah, so this is the right screenshot. Anyway, you can see the last of Nagley's column with the wagons pulling up. No sounds of battle or anywhere. No couriers. All's nice and quiet.
That's the best I could probably do right now. So appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep. All right. It's gonna be seeing each other soon.
Yep.
Did Brennan order to go into the woods?
Yep. They ordered to cross at that specific ford.
Oh. Why is he over here off the road?
He's off the road because I forgot to move him back onto the road.
Just curious. Let's see. These guys are not visible yet, but they soon will be. Next turn they will be. Alright. Everything moved? Nope, everything's not moved.
Rousseau and Stork moved.
I need to move Breckenridge. He's just moving up the road still.
Oh, let's see. I guess they'd see him now.
So Breckenridge is 3rd Division.
Wait, and so wait, is this not woods over here?
Yeah, that's woods.
Or I guess yeah,
Yeah,
he can see through like here.
Yeah. I love. Is Breckenridge really that far back, or was he?
Oh, I just mistook the brigade piece for the commander piece. That's my bad.
Yeah, that's Breckenridge. So he'd probably.
Although yeah, I guess he was that far back.
Whether he
Where
sees him or
is
not.
Is Brannon moved yet?
Yeah, G-Puzzle moved him. Alright, 11:20.
Yep.
Don't forget to post the time. G-Puzzle.
What?
I think you
Sorry?
missed the time in one of your posts.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I'm missing one of them. The 1100 one. In the screenshot now.
Where is Who's Major General Thomas?
Thomas is right here. Oh, sorry, that's Hardy. Thomas is over here by himself.
Okay.
So how thick are the woods down here? Because I mean, like, Negley was a bit surprised by how small a screenshot was from the woods before when he was in the middle of it.
Negley woods. These woods here aren't that thick. Those woods are.
Okay, so you can like see maybe like half as far as normal in these woods instead.
I would, from there, I'd give him a screenshot that's like this. Actually,
Okay.
I'd give him that screenshot and then have his first regiment report back that they can see Confederates to the southeast, like a mile away.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, of course. I was going to tell him that Jim sees.
Yeah.
In trouble with the screenshot. I changed my operating system recently, and now I'm struggling with the screenshot tool.
Need help?
I cannot find anything on this distribution that has this, like the like region is selected. That's not just a cube, and that's gonna become more of a problem as like they get closer to each other. I'm trying to find.
Alright, I'll do this one real fast. Was it just Negley, or do I need to do Breckenridge?
Can you do Breckenridge too?
Will you move your red hand?
Yeah, I also get their orders. I'm just looking at.
Yeah. Okay, screenshots are out.
Thank you.
Alright, General Thomas. All remains quiet. Some couriers are starting to arrive at your HQ. Nothing more to report, really.
My apologies, I'm being talked to right now. Give me just a moment.
Okay, no worries.
All right, sorry. Yes. Say that again.
Oh, just that there's not too much to report. You got a dispatch that arrived, and that's about
Yep.
it.
Just a quick question. Can I send my staff like scouting to the south, or do I have to go with them to do that?
How far south are you?
Decent ways. I'm guessing I have to go with them.
Yeah.
Like, say to the Gerald farm or Gerald house.
I don't.
Due south.
My map doesn't have any farms or anything labeled, so I don't know where that is.
It just never mind. So I'll just no new orders.
Okay. All right, gentlemen. You've made the left turn and are heading up north up that next road. Nothing more to report really other than that.
All right.
Keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna. I don't think we split off. Like I know General Hardy's gonna split off once we get to the second hill. Second hill.
Oh no, that's the hill I want right there.
Can you see? Oh, can you see it?
I can see just the outline of it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have a visual, so.
You should have a visual. Oh, how are you? You've been playing this game blind so far. I'm so sorry.
Really?
Yes, you have.
Yeah.
That would explain.
Yeah.
That's explain why you're so confused. All right, you have a text channel with your screenshots, so you can see things. Can you see it now?
Let me. Oh yes. Yep.
Sorry about that.
Okay. Perfect. Oh yeah. Now I see where we're at. All right. Yeah, your hill's off to the right there, General Hardy.
Yep. So I'm gonna put myself on that top of that hill. I'm gonna pull out my spy glasses because this should give me a pretty good view out there. I mean, if we got any engineers, I got some spotting equipment. They're coming with me.
Okay. And your orders, General Claiborne?
We're going to continue straight on. We should cross the river here again shortly. And be a farmhouse up on our left, and we're going to continue past that. And we're looking for the second farmhouse on the left. That's pretty much going to be the center of my line, I think, once we get up the road a piece.
I'm gonna drop a dispatch, but it's a status report request one, so it's no biggie. I'll type it up super quick.
All right. And you guys, next turn, you'll be in separate voice channels.
Roger that.
All right, thanks. Assume that these guys would start shooting. Gave XTX the busiest people. It'll even out soon.
So who all do you think would hear those cannons going off?
I think everyone.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because everyone's about 4 miles from it, so
Yeah, so you can
let them know that
let 'em
they hear
know.
cannons.
Give them a general direction and
Mhm.
rough distance. Now, if they're crossing that stream, there's no bridge, so that stream's going to slow them down a bit just to cross it.
Here?
Yeah, any crossing the stream at all. Just keep that in mind.
Okay. I thought there was a bridge here.
Oh, are they? Yeah.
That I'm like,
Sorry, my bad. Yeah, if they took that bridge, they're fine. So the Union just kept on marching straight into it?
only half a mile. He wanted to like deploy in loose order here, and I mean, like in my opinion, the woods here would block the cannons from shooting into them.
Well, they're getting
Like
shot at.
if you can't see through these woods.
They're getting shot at going into the woods. That's only
Okay,
one
okay.
assumption. Just let them know they're under fire now.
Mhm.
and everyone can
All right.
hear the artillery fire. So
I
we're
mean,
down.
to be fair, I didn't tell them specifically there was artillery. Like it was a max range, like a mile away.
Yeah.
So I just said that like Jim was seeing like gray Confederate uniforms.
Do you want me to do screenshots for you again?
I would appreciate that. I have a. Wait, let me see if this one has the screenshots like tool I need.
Who's the other one you had? Breckenridge. And Breckenridge purposely went to the east.
Yeah, I would appreciate taking screenshots. It won't let me take circuit ones either. That's really annoying.
Wonders of technology.
Forgot completely that I should check to see if I can do that on the operating system.
What new OS are you doing? Are you using?
Mint.
Oh, hell yeah, boy!
Yeah, I mean, I like it fine, except when I find something like that where, like, oh, well, it seems like that would be a very simple tool to add, but
Yeah, no, I just used the regular like screenshot function from Steam and GIMP open on another tab.
I just use the snipping tool.
That's what I use.
Yep. Also, another thing you can do.
how do I take screenshots through Steam?
F12, but then you would have to edit it. I just like the snipping tool just because you can do the free form and just right then and there.
Oh yeah, that's like I'm using Mint and it doesn't have the freeform tool on it.
Okay.
It only has the rectangular selection, which is a bit annoying.
Yeah, that kind of defeats the purpose of what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
All right. So go get orders for 12 o'clock.
11:40, right?
Yeah, just sent screenshots for 11:40 and.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Get orders for 12.
Okay.
I'm just doing a bunch of dispatches. All right, General Thomas. Finally, something different. You can hear artillery fire thundering somewhere to the southwest, at least a couple miles.
Southwest.
A couple miles away.
All right. Thank you. No current orders right now.
Okay, and you just got a dispatch from Negley.
Oh, just got dispatch. All right.
All right. Thank you for separating yourself. All right, so you and your staff make your way up the treeless hill. It does give a better view than you had on the road. You're able to see a little bit more in a mile or two beyond. You can see, well, first of all, you can hear artillery fire to the northwest, maybe 3 miles away. And you can see a dust cloud off to the northeast direction, denoting some kind of movement on a dirt road.
Okay. Like, I'm assuming the same road that I just departed off of. That where that road is leading that direction.
No.
Oh, you said northeast.
Yeah.
Okay, so coming that way. Okay.
Any orders?
About how far off?
maybe like 4 or 5 miles.
Okay. I'm gonna stay where I'm at. I'm gonna probably send dispatches out. 2's fine.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
I will type them up.
All right, General Claiborne, you continue down the road and cross the stream once again. As you are heading down the road, Breckenridge's men come into view, and you can hear artillery fire to the northwest in the vicinity of Breckenridge's deployment.
Yeah, so I want to get my lead elements up there in contact with Breckenridge. And you know what? I'd like to ride up there myself, but I want Churchill to continue his men up the road to Breckenridge, and that'll bring my line to a stop. And I think we'll deploy those elements in line, Churchill's elements at least, until I understand the tactical situation there.
Okay. Deploy to the right of the road or left, or is it up to Churchill?
The right, as I'm looking at my route of march, right? So once we're up in contact with Breckenridge, we'll deploy in line to the right of the road, so the road will be behind us.
Got it. Okay. And you're gonna go to Breckenridge?
I'm gonna ride up to that lead element of Breckenridge's division and see if I can see where Breckenridge is at.
Okay.
I'll type a dispatch to Hardy.
All right. I can't do. Has XCX gotten your orders already?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then I will not ask for them again.
My screen, but down here along the fence line here. So it's kind of going to be 2 in front and 2 a little off kilter, but behind for now. The last brigade, it looks like one of Adams has 1 regiment across the creek already. I'm going to order his brigade to try to move into reserve. So he's going to be to the south of the road and east of the creek. And I want his regiments to be prepared to deploy, but they're going to be in this area down here. Okay, so that they can go to wherever's needed in the line or run across along the river if bait collapses. So he's going to kind of be in reserve here along this area. And that's where I want all his stuff.
In open formation still, I assume?
I'm sorry?
In open formation still, I assume?
Yeah, for now. Yep.
All right. Thank you. I'll see you next one.
What's Negley doing?
Right, he's just moving up here to rest and recover. And he's deploying out like this.
Do either of their artillery have targets specified?
No.
Guess they'll shoot at each other then. Okay. Long range. make sure, be careful when you're grabbing them. You don't touch the text part, 'cause we're starting to lose. Okay. Is that everything moved?
Yes. Should Thomas and Rousseau be automatically co-located?
Yeah, we might as well. There's
Okay.
little harm in it. I'll put them together. If you'll take Thomas this turn, he probably won't have. You can forward his dispatches though and give him a screenshot.
Very
that
well.
would be helpful. And I will do Negley's screenshot for noon.
Thomas is pretty much going to be saying the same thing as Rousseau, so.
Yeah, just that's why.
Is it time for new screenshots?
Yeah, I'm doing yours real fast.
Where is...
Right. I'm always a bit iffy on the smoke from guns, how much it blocks their own vision. Because I mean, realistically, it would, but I mean, I would feel. I don't want to like completely cut off all his information about the Confederates right now. But
yeah, I mean they just started firing. I'm not restricting it for that for now.
right. You good on that?
Yeah, I did your screenshots. You can go ahead.
Oh, okay.
The Discord Minutemen aren't as good about signing their dispatches.
Right.
Where's Stewart at? Oh, he's not far.
Stewart is all the way down at the
And you got
long
Thomas's dispatch he wrote, going to Brendan and Rousseau?
line. Yes.
Okay. Alright.
And Nagley, I gotta get that one. Or did you get that one?
I didn't do anything from Negley.
No, it's from Thomas to there we go.
Oh, yeah.
I just sent it.
Okay.
Yep. And then I'm waiting on Brandon to get his screenshot so I can deliver his dispatch.
Yep. Just sent the screenshot.
Alright, General Claiborne. You with me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Alright, so you ride to the head of your column where it has reached the right flank of Wood's brigade. The Alabama boys are deploying to the right of the road, same as you. Your Arkansas boys are starting to move off the road and form into line. Churchill's with you, overseeing it. Just down the road, about half a mile, you can see Breckenridge moving about the road and overseeing the deployment of his line. Further beyond that, his guns are firing at something. Your own columns arriving and starting to get deployed. So far, you've just had the one regiment.
Okay. That's a hill out in front to my. Yeah. I want to stay anchored with Breckenridge, but I want to push Churchill's line out more to the right. I want to get the battery up on that hill. But I want it supported by the rest of Churchill's brigade. So want to push my line out, stay anchored on the left, bring those supply wagons up behind Churchill, and start getting Little deployed. It looks like along the river road there, as far up as that hill.
Is Little deploying on Churchill's flank as well?
Yeah, on Churchill's right flank. Yep.
Okay.
So with Churchill, we'll keep that regiment anchored on the left. Bring the battery up. Bring that second regiment up to make contact with, to extend the line, right? So we're crossing the battery in front of that regiment, moving that second regiment up into contact with the line, swinging the line out, and bringing that trailing regiment up to the far right line, end of the line for Churchill. Does that make sense?
Maybe.
Yeah, and then the supply wagons behind him, and then Little starts to makes contact with Churchill's right and deploys across the river road there.
Okay. And you're staying here, or going to Breckenridge, or?
Yeah, Churchill can handle the deployment of his brigade. I want to go up to Breckenridge and see if I can see what he sees.
Okay. Got it. All right, General Hardy, you remain atop your hill, as you can see. Claiborne continuing on ahead and moving forward. Actually, let me see what you can see. And you can also see Stewart's division arriving now too.
Okay, that's who's at the turn there.
Yeah, they're coming up on the turn.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Okay.
You still hear artillery fire to the northwest. It seems like it's only just a. Well, no, I take that back. What were just a couple guns are joined by more. Further beyond them, probably the Union firing back at your own lines. Yeah. Any orders or movement? Are you just sitting on?
No, not at this point. I don't even have a dispatch I need to send right at this moment because it's just basically a continuation. So, well, let me get. Yeah, I'll send one dispatch out, but that's about it. Yep.
Okay.
Well, we've got an entire Union division that's going off road.
Where?
Right over here. Oh,
Yep.
over there too. Wow. Okay, that is an interesting choice.
Yeah, their orders are just pretty much they're just gonna send a straight line, but they're gonna be a marching simulator for a bit.
That's all right. All right. So I rolled for their cannons. They actually aren't hitting each other; they're just getting tired. But
Yep.
I think that's.
All right, and so, Confederates, just like in Napoleonic warfare, like they take damage as they move through the woods in line formation, right? Or cohesion damage.
They might take disruption. Maybe if it's. I normally don't do that, but they may. I guess.
Okay. I guess it depends on like if they're marching into battle for the woods, maybe then. But if they're just marching to the woods, no.
If they're like in line formation and about to attack someone, then and it's a long
Mhm.
distance through the woods, then yeah, I probably would.
Right, yeah, because the frontage is just very, very narrow here. So I mean, it's kind of hard for them to avoid being in woods in line formation.
All right. So we're at 12:20. Do a bunch of screenshots. 12:20. where'd Breckenridge go? Okay, Claiborne wanted to talk to him.
I'm gonna move them to chat together.
Yeah, you can move them together now. Let's see. All right, they got their screenshots. You can do your thing.
Yep. Thank you.
Then is Thomas staying with Rousseau? Oh, I'm by myself. Yes, he is. Okay. Hopefully he's got him covered. All right, General Hardy. The sounds of the artillery fire continues to the northwest. Other than that, there's no musket fire, no additional artillery. Lots of dispatches coming to and fro, though.
Yep, I'm catching up on them right now. Okay. All right. And then that's Stewart that is just passing me right now, right?
Stewart, no, that's Polk's brigade. Stewart's further
he's still back there.
southwest. Yeah, a little bit back there.
Okay, I see him coming up. Yeah, I mean, I'm really just gonna sit here for send a couple more dispatches out and back. I'm probably gonna hitch a ride with Stewart, so I don't really have too much to do until then. So
if he'll be coming pretty close by. Do you want me to put you with him next turn?
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Okay. All right.
So,
General Claiborne.
Okay.
You rode west, obviously, and are now with General Breckenridge right next to his battery. And Union guns are firing down upon you, trying to hit your own battery. So far, none have hit. That's about it. You can barely glimpse Union movement, about a mile away to the northwest in the clearing between the trees.
right. All right. Yeah, I just had a discussion with General Breckenridge. I'm going to head back to my division and make sure that they're deploying correctly. If I have any of my staff with me, I'm going to send them back and try. Basically, what I'm going to try to do, James, is I'm going to try to get my entire division across that crossing that we made and deploy along that river road. So that's a very short space to get Little and Polk deployed. But I kind of want to do that along that raised area there, and just extend our line to the river. So
Sure.
if that makes any sense, I'll send word in advance to Polk and Little to get them moving. I'll deploy in line at the double quick, and I'll head back that way myself.
Okay. Got it. Thank you. Go ahead, XCX.
Okay, I was just wondering. All right, hello, Breckenridge. What are your orders?
So I'm holding the line where I'm at now. However, I want to go west down the road here to see what I can see. Concerned about, as Civil War generals always were, their flanks being up in the air. Because I don't know if this is going to be their main thrust or if we just got lucky and got in their way. So I just want to see what's down the road here and see if we have any other forces, Union forces, swinging around the left. That's the objective. So I will look for some high ground where I maybe can get a view to the north, northwest. I want to see what's going on there.
So you're looking for a high ground into the kind of northwest. The road leaves like roughly southwest. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not sure the orientation of the map. So I want it in the picture I'm sharing with you. I would like to just head to the left or west down the road, and I'm just kind of looking for a high point where I could get an overview of this area over here. Like if I have battle lines forming up over here,
then it's not loading for me 1 second.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I think we can do something like this.
Yeah. Like, do you want to go the full mile or?
Because I can't see what I can see. As long as I can get back next turn, I wouldn't want to go more than one turn out, so I can run back if I need to. So yes, I just want to see what I can see.
You could go up to like 3 miles, I think, and then still be able to make it back in 1 turn.
Okay, let's go. Let's just go like 1 mile is like the distance where the cannons are firing right now. Is that about right? Okay, yeah. I'll go 1 mile to the quote unquote west down the road, because I just want to see if what we have over here that I can't see. I'm concerned about that. So.
All right. I will see you next turn.
Great. I'll be back in like 10 minutes, so I might not be here, but I'll be back shortly.
No worries. I feel. I mean, I think he would probably. Do you think he would stop and like pay attention to the Union that are coming down through the woods here?
I don't think he'd.
I don't think he would like see them very well at all.
Yeah, I'll give him a good screenshot so he feels a bit better and then turns around. 12.
Also, so Negley, he stopped firing his cannons this turn, so that they're going to be recovering. Okay. And I thought that like the smoke from firing for about an hour at this point wouldn't dissipate within 20 minutes, so he should still also be like kind of screened from the enemy artillery hitting his lines as they come through.
Yeah, I rolled low anyway.
Beyond
so
like
it happened automatically.
Well, I'll tell him it's because of my umpire intervention units.
Yes. We'll give him a view of Union in the.
Do you think the cannons up here from Rousseau are going to have a hard time crossing this terrain and should be slowed down at all?
Cannons up here, yeah. If it's off road, those cannons should be going like and trees. They're getting stuck.
I'm not.
Well, yeah, these cannons here they can't hit through two thick woods.
They cannot shoot into like 2 inches of thick woods. I was about to say simple can't fire.
Wait, we're talking.
Like this is such a thin part right here that he could try to fire through.
Yeah, it's like a thin line past a bunch of woods that is past multiple woods that is like a mile away. I don't know if he has managed to pull that off.
Actually, his cannons would probably have enough foresight to go through this clearing and then.
They're gonna go crazy slow though. Like you should show them getting bogged up. I don't know.
Well, this area all here there's like a nice little path through that. So I was gracious to him, but I'll have his cannons start slowing down.
But crossing the stream and moving through woods should be like twice as slow as infantry or worse.
I don't even know if they can fire. That's such a sliver.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I agree that I don't think they'll fire.
And you've got this brush here, kind of blocking that.
You guys are no fun. I took it off.
You guys are no fun.
Yeah, conveniently, you forgot to remove the disruption from the infantry, though. The consequences stay.
Alright, I gotta do some screenshot. 12.
What is this, a fucking JoJo stand?
I would hate to fight in this terrain here. This is such an awful, like, patch of forests.
Yeah, this is
It sucks.
ACW
Yeah.
terrain, baby.
The Appalachian Theater.
Oh man, East Tennessee completely fucked.
We good to send screenshots?
Yeah, and you're keeping Thomas as long as he's with Rousseau, right? That helps.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
I mean,
And your
Thomas is
screenshots can be larger. Maybe he's in the woods, so that's why they weren't. But that's probably why.
Yeah, they're. And then Hardy is with Hardy is already with Stewart. Okay.
Oh yeah, can you? Who's got Stewart's lock?
I don't know. I'm
1240 Stewart. All right, General Claiborne.
Yeah.
So you make your way back to your lines. You're with Churchill now. You can see his line deployed and on the right wing of Breckinridge's division. Little is also deploying, although in a much more swished up room right next to the river. And then Polk's just crossing the bridge now, coming in behind Little.
Yeah, it's looking good. I kind of want to push. Oh no, I don't. Hold on. Yeah, I want to get those wagons off the road and get Polk across the river. A battery on the right. If the enemy's coming up that road, okay. Yeah, I don't see any possibility of expanding that line a little bit without. You know what I do? I want to push. So that battery where Churchill's at, I want to push it out. It's masked a little bit by the woods to its right. I want to get it out to a point where it's no longer masked.
Okay.
And just have, and I want that regiment on its right to stay with it, but behind it, so it's not impeding its field of fire to our right.
Okay.
And other units adjust as necessary to do that. And I want to move my vantage point up there to looks like the 17th, 18th, and 24th Texas. I want to get in with them. It looks like they're trying to determine what that terrain is. It looks like they're in a depression. So put me up there. Can you get me up there with the second Arkansas? Between the second and fifth Arkansas. It looks like they're on a little bit of a rise.
Sure.
Just so I can see if I improves my field of view.
And what's Polk? Where's Polk supposed to be going?
Polk just needs to come up on the road. Unfortunately, they're gonna be our reserve. I just need them to advance enough to get all their regiments across that river.
Okay.
But I want that battery here. I want that battery here on the right. Oh God,
Polk's
where do
battery?
we fit that in? Yeah. I want Polk's battery Yeah, we were just talking about that. Second Arkansas is the one that's kind of up on the rise. I don't know what that would take to get them to shift. I kind of want them in line with Sweet's battery there. So that would mean second Arkansas would have to shift to the left a little bit.
Okay.
Is that making any sense?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, actually, James is here for Hardy. But Stuart, if you want to give me your orders real quick.
We're going to continue up the road following Claiborne.
Very well.
I was going to ask you to take Hardy. I assume he's just staying with Stewart anyway.
I just had one question for you, James,
Yeah.
and that was because you mentioned about the dust cloud like a couple turns ago, and then you haven't mentioned about it. Was it just still?
No, it's still there.
Okay. I figured, but I might as well ask.
Yeah. I forgot to mention it, but yeah.
Very good.
We have a lot of maneuvering and no fighting, or hardly any fighting so far.
I've had a couple runs of that in the past couple games.
I think.
This gun is shooting this turn, James.
Oh, let me roll for it. What's it targeting? Infantry or artillery? Whatever they want. Doesn't matter. Okay. Well, I think both sides are rightfully cautious. They don't want to be overly aggressive.
Yeah, Breckenridge was asking me, so is there any way that the enemy could be hiding in the screenshot? Like, do I know for sure there's nothing here?
No, you never know. They could be hiding in the woods.
Sounds like he's been playing in my games.
Alright, so Negley 1300.
Man, I tried to analyze it. I think the Union has the advantage here.
How fast do command units move?
3 miles if they're on their own.
3 miles?
Yep.
See, what we really need to do is attach a...
I'm sorry, go on.
No, I was about to say attach a commander to a courier, so they'll be heat-seeking and incredibly fast.
That's funny. Will you cover? Will you do the screenshot for Hardy, Slock?
For Hardy, yes, I can do that. He'll just get the same one as Stuart.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. Will do.
All right, 1300. All right, General Claiborne. So you move to join Little. Give him the orders to get the 2nd Arkansas out of the way. The Texas boys are moving up to catch up to the artillery you moved forward. Polk's artillery is arriving, getting into position. Rest of Polk's brigade is moving up on the road behind in reserve. And you receive word from Douglas's battery that they can see movement on the road. 2 roads to the north. They can see a column of Union troops marching westward, a little over a mile away. And you can hear new sounds of artillery fire to the northwest, a little bit closer.
Okay. Interesting. All right. I haven't heard anything more about that dust cloud that was in the northeast.
The sighting of the battery is probably that dust cloud.
All right. Yeah, I want to. So I think the Churchill's battery is in a good spot. I want to get the Texas boys so they're coming up on the right. Churchill looks good on that left of the battery. I kind of want to get. I want to get Little to shift a little to his left to close that gap. It looks like I've got a regiment moving in that space there. Tight with that stream. From what I know right now, I think we're good. I just want to get Polk off the road. Stewart and Hardy are coming up. I think we're looking good for right now.
You staying here?
Yeah, so there is a. Yeah, I'm staying here for now. It looked like my field of vision's opened up a little bit. I don't seem to have any immediate threats to my right that I can see. I don't know what's behind those woods. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna ride up to behind Douglas's Texas battery and just take a gander from that space.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
When you roll for the James, one thing, Marshall wants to, or Brent, fire on the infantry. He doesn't want to fire on the artillery. He doesn't want them performing counter battery duty.
Okay.
Or are they in musket range already?
Yeah, it's extreme. It's probably more their skirmishers than them, but we'll show some musket fire. Yeah, because
But maybe not roll for them if it's just the skirmishers.
Yeah, I'm not even a roll, but 0.2 of a mile is a bit far.
Tenths of a mile is that's just over 300 yards.
Yeah, so
that would be absolutely skirmishing range.
Yeah. 352 yards. 400 to 500 is like sharpshooter range.
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah, super battery foreman.
Always
Although
want to
this one
see
isn't going to be able to
if-
hit anything. Because there's like the thick woods here, so.
Confederates are in a good defensive position because they're anchored on that woods and the river.
But I think they have so much wasted down here
Yeah, they're too
for now.
weighted on the right side.
I think this position is terrible. It can't easily be reinforced. It's on the wrong side of the river, so it can just be crushed.
Yeah, that left wing position.
That's bait.
I mean,
That's absolutely bait.
the only advantage it had early on was that like they were able to kind of just fire through this kind of clearing here into the advancing Union without any real way to get around it until they got through. So if they had like a couple like artillery here, I think it'd be a very strong position, just blasting them as they cross the river.
Yeah, we'll see where Stewart goes because Claiborne's pretty concentrated more than he needs to be. Not that he knows it, but Stewart should probably move up behind.
Good to know. Thomas is in position, and we've got Brandon still wants to attack, which is why I'm saying like this position is terrible. He's gonna get hit by two divisions.
Yep. All right. What time is it?
Nope, I still have to do some
It is-
movements unless someone took care of Rousseau.
No, it did not. But
Okay. Well, you guys
It's
should be good.
13:20.
Yeah, I don't think they're in anyone else's screenshot, so.
Yeah.
That.
Is Thomas on his own now? Where's Thomas at?
Thomas,
He is right.
I don't know how he got there. Last I saw him, he was like
Yeah.
over here. Although I guess if he's traveling alone.
well, he was there, and then we figured out his movement distance, so I adjusted it for his screenshot, and then he was there. So
So
3 miles.
Whoever's got Brandon,
What-
you've got Thomas now.
Yep, that would be me.
Okay. You got those two then. Need to do Breckenridge's.
And then whoever's got Breckenridge has Hardy. They should be together.
Okay.
I gotta love a good old hot potato, playing Commander Hot Potato.
Alright, so I'll do Hardy's screenshot as well with Breckenridge.
I'm gonna screenshot and Brennan's screenshot.
Let's show him what he saw. Nice thing is they're so close you don't have to worry about delays. All right, General Claiborne. So you move up to the battery, and from that vantage point, you get a pretty good view to the north, where you can see Union movement heading west on that road up there. You can also see further west, Breckenridge's artillery's engaged. And Union troops are deployed not far from them, about half a mile or less away to the north. Lots of artillery fire still to the west, mixed with some musket fire. All that's to your west. Behind you, you can see Stewart's men. Polk's moved off road, and Stewart's men are moving up the road.
Oh man. Yeah, they are. Okay. All right. So you see that copse of trees out there in front of Churchill's battery?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to put I'm trying to zoom in on that regiment right there to the left. So I want to get all three of my batteries in line from that copse of woods to the woods on the right.
Oh, I see.
I want all three of them to move. And then I want that regiment to the left of the battery where it's at right now to move up between that copse and the other section of woods to the left. I want one Texas regiment behind the line of batteries. Actually, I want two of the Texas regiments behind the line of the batteries. And then I want Lydell to deploy his brigade from the right edge of the batteries. Let me look at my bigger map. Right across through those woods and toward the hill where the river road is at that we're on right now. Does that make sense?
Say that one more time. From the woods to the road.
Yeah. So, we're putting all three batteries between the copse of trees and the larger woods to the right, and then from the right, the woods to the right. Just how those roads kind of loop. I just want to kind of follow the contour of that outer road.
Yep, I see.
And take it back over to my right flank. I know that's going to push my line out, and I know Stewart's moving across the road, but if we get a gap, I need to get Polk on this side of the road in line behind Lydell.
Okay. And you're staying here? Where are you going?
I am going to move up to that copse of trees.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good rules.
Oh, do we finally have muskets going off?
Let's see, that would be...
Oh, that's always fun to see.
Took enfilade fire. Let's see. Are they in woods? They're in woods. And it's long range. These guys are joining in on the fun.
Is movement done for Clayburn?
Yep.
Okay. Grab Stewart's.
Where is Stuart going?
Stuart is just deploying his troops in this general area.
Okay. Yeah,
Yep.
Claiborne's trying to move forward to get out of his way.
Then these guys kind of clear the road.
Almost 2 hours in, hardly had any combat yet. Didn't have our first regiment break though.
We had a regiment break?
Yeah, here.
Oh.
'Cause they
They take
the
take
brunt
nothing
of the
but cannon fire.
Yeah, they took this one and these guns over here, so.
Oof.
Did you roll for these guys
Yep.
as well? Because both of these should be
Yep.
shooting at the veterans.
The trees.
Oh, just awful rolls for them.
Yeah, mostly not much happening. They're long distance and lots of trees, so.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're 140. 1340.
All right.
Oh, wait, you gotta move. Let me know when you're done moving, Negley.
Yeah, they're done.
And then are Hardy and Breckenridge still together?
The Hardy moved over to Cleveland. I'm just waiting for like the updates to come up and move them together.
Who's he with now?
Cleveland.
Oh, okay. All right, then I'll move them.
Oh. Yeah, I was just waiting till like the updates came out before I move them. That's usually how we do it, but.
Okay, no worries. 1340. Breckenridge. All right, so I'll take Hardy back.
Right.
Alrighty.
I Otter.
Dispatch to Hardy and Breckenridge. All right.
My battery's up to that.
Okay.
We're gonna be in line from that copse of trees over to the larger woods on my right. Lydell is deploying through those trees and across to the river, and I'm moving Polk as soon as Stewart gets out of my way. I'm moving Polk up behind Lydell.
All right, let me give an update real fast. So you move up to the copse of trees. Hardy joins you. You give the orders for everyone to advance. Of course, it takes time for those orders to disseminate and then the men to get
Right.
moving. So they're moving up now, but it's taking time. Meanwhile, you can see the Union line continuing to head west, up north, and you can see Breckenridge's division engaged at range with artillery to the west.
So General Hardy, based on this visual, do I keep my people deployed here, or do I push out? Because
That's what I was going to have.
you want me to push out? We might as well push out to the road. Like let's hit these bastards.
Yeah, right now you have Union that are marching in column, unaware of what's going on. Right now we have an opportunity to seize the initiative. Hopefully your men have the dander up, General. Deploy out and advance forward. I'm going to move back. I'm going to get Stewart to come behind you. We are going to hit them with 2 Confederate divisions right here, and see how they like that on their right flank.
Stewart's got a brigade in front of Polk. So I'm gonna try to have Polk shoot that gap there behind Churchill. So Umpire James. So we were headed to the copse of trees, but I'm gonna push out to that inner road. I guess I don't need to get that close. So in front of the copse of trees is that what is that, like kidney shaped clump of woods there? You see that? And then the gap?
Yep.
All right. I want to put 2 batteries in there, and I want to get a battery off to the trees to the... There's a trees that cover the road there. To the right. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
That smaller group.
Okay.
Almost directly in front of me and to the right, just slightly. So 2 batteries in that gap, and then the other battery I want over on the right. And I want Lydell to get the let out and get his, like, double click up to the road, deploy in line.
So you going through the trees, right of the trees, in the trees, left of the trees?
To the left of the trees. We're going to stay out of the trees. It'll slow us down. And then I want Polk to come up as quick as he can behind Churchill. I want the Texas boys to just stay with that battery as the second battery joins them, right? Where I've already indicated. I'm pushing that line up as far as I can. Breckenridge has got to swing his right flank.
I'm going to tell him to.
All right. Yeah, we gotta move. Like they're still deploying. Like they're forming that line. Like we've got to get up there.
All right. And Polk's staying where he's at until Stewart gets out of the way.
Unless he can shoot that gap where those supply wagons are and come up behind Churchill, that's fine with me. But my big concern is, like, if Breckenridge doesn't move, I need Polk behind Churchill, because otherwise Churchill's out there in the wind.
Okay. And you're staying here?
No, hell no. I'm advancing with the batteries.
Okay, got it.
I'm going to move to Stewart. I'm sending a dispatch also, so.
All right.
So it appears that Marshall is unfathomably lucky today because he has somehow deployed his forces in the last possible second.
Yeah, the Confederates were trying to take advantage of him. Oh, there's higher rules.
That was an accident waiting to happen, and let me tell you, he got lucky. He got real lucky.
Right.
There is going to be a charge. I have been told to attack in column of regiments.
Right, what?
I have been told 2nd Brigade is to attack in column of regiments.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see that.
Yeah. I said, this mission is screwed.
Is that as far as they got?
Also,
Oh, geez, they are massing their... Wow, they are really massing their guys.
Where did they...
What's the closest location to this artillery here that they could fire at some enemies?
Probably if they move to this tree line here. and then they could fire on that.
But then they would be in like the way of their own artillery here. I would say
Yeah.
maybe over here.
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah, like over there, and then they could fire down that line. I mean, Steedman's gonna.
Yep, that one's not supposed to be here. That is that's for First Brigade.
I'm gonna say that his artillery up here can't fire anymore because like the only avenue here he could shoot through is now blocked by Union troops.
By Union troops. That's not. You don't want to fire for your own man. That's not recommended.
What are these batteries doing? Are they just sitting there, limbered up?
They just deployed this turn. They just moved in.
Okay.
So like I was gonna say, they can kind of deploy and maybe start firing next turn at the same time.
This one I believe has just deployed. So I don't know if it would be able to start firing.
We'll show smoke, but not roll for it. This one broke.
Yep.
Lots of death from artillery below it.
Yep. I have to say, Marshall got really lucky on this one. Because the 2nd Minnesota is about to deliver a massive just hail of fire.
McPans is getting very, very annoyed with the wood situation here. Not like here, just like the terrain in general, with like where artillery can and cannot fire.
Yeah. I can imagine it's not easy terrain to find any position to fire artillery from, which is just not just a Civil War problem. You're talking about the West, the Appalachian theater of the war. That's like the one that's worst.
So Thomas is with Negley now.
Yep, and Brandon is with his 3rd Brigade.
And Stuart and Hardy is with Stuart. It looks like.
Yeah, I like the way this looks for the Union. I like the way this looks for the Union a lot.
I think it's still anyone's game.
What's up with the column over here? Why are they all disrupted?
They're double timing it.
Oh, they're double timing. Oh god, yeah. In a bit, they're gonna run straight into the already deployed 3rd Brigade.
Pickett's charge in the west.
Oh boy.
Except less organized, if you could say it was organized. Okay.
Let's see.
I think this is not. I think they're just going to break down.
So Slock, you got Hardy.
Yep, I'll take Hardy.
I'll take care of Thomas.
Yep.
Right.
Okay.
Excellent.
All right, General Claiborne. So you give the word for Liddell to double time it north, which he does. The artillery is arriving at the new position where you're at, ready to deploy them. Churchill's moving up his men in line formation, and then you send word to Polk, who's coming up in column, catching up to you. You can see the enemy has hastily deployed and moved south to meet you.
Yep.
And
okay.
Still lots of sounds of battle to the west.
So the threes on the columns there, is that fatigue?
Yeah, they're a little bit fatigued from double timing it for the last
Okay.
20 minutes.
I want Liddell to form into line right where he's at, into the woods to his right.
Okay.
But I want that regiment. I want that lead regiment and the one behind it. I want them to deploy into line right there in support of the batteries. So once the batteries get up to that line, they don't need to go any further. Like, I'm pretty sure they're close enough to engage where they're at. So
You want them in front of the batteries to cover their deployment, or like?
no, I want them. I want the. So you see that second battery coming up?
Mm-hmm.
Like, from what I've seen of this game so far, it looks like that's close enough for them to engage if they deployed right now.
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct? Is that pretty accurate?
Yeah, well, depending. Do you want them to play where they're at, or move up and?
No, I want them. So I want the first battery on the left. I want them to unlimber and go into action, and then I want the other two batteries to just come up and get in line with them.
Okay. Yep.
And then I want Liddell to deploy those first two regiments in line right where they're at, supporting each other. I want the Texas boys to come up behind the battery. I want Churchill to move that regiment that he's got into those woods where I'm at.
Okay.
Freaking! I know those guys on the left say Claiborne, but those are Breckenridge's guys, right? Yeah, because the one says Breckenridge.
Yep.
Yeah, those are his boys. All right. I see Polk's coming up. As soon as Polk gets up to the back of the trees where I'm at, I want him to deploy in the line. And basically, so James, my plan right now is to hit him as much as we can with the batteries and essentially prepare everybody I've got here to hit that line. But I need to get them up and in line and deployed.
Got it.
It looks like that's the end of their right, but I don't know for sure, but we're gonna pretend like it is.
All right. You having fun yet?
Yeah, absolutely. It totally brings to mind that whole, like, I'm sitting here just waiting for Breckenridge to bring that line up because I know that, like, right now my left is hanging out there until he swings that line up, and it's.
Have you written him to do that?
No, Hardy was going to take care of it, so yeah.
Hopefully he does.
Hopefully he does. Otherwise, next turn's going to be bad. But you know my intent. I just want to get everybody pushed up, deployed in line, and then we're gonna hit that line next turn. We're just gonna go.
Yep. All right.
So whoever has Hardy moving forward, he is taking Clayton's troops under his direct command.
Oh boy.
Oh, bad rule. All right. That's about to be very bad on the Confederate left. They're charging, I assume, right?
I did not. That's Negley's men.
Yeah.
I didn't have those.
Oh, that's fine. That looks like they're charging. That's a flip.
Yeah. Oh yeah, these guys down here are charging in melee, like in assault columns.
6, they're breaking, so they're running. Ooh, did Breckenridge want to stay where he's at?
Yeah.
This side wanted to. This side is essentially to also be in like a full-on attack.
Bayonet, well.
Probably even further.
Yeah, we'll just bayonet charge him.
And this one moving this way, so probably attacking. This column of regiments.
If he doesn't move, he might die.
Do we just want to roll for it?
Well, no, he's still safe at the moment, but next turn.
Okay.
Yeah, next turn.
It will be death.
You have chosen death.
Did you already bump up the unit here from the breaking Confederate?
Yeah. Oh, let's see. Yeah, they're fine. They're holding. That's good.
And what about these guys? Did you bump them up from the broken Union already?
Yeah, we're good there.
Okay. Also, the third brigade troops here are being sent on a field trip to go all the way down towards Fairbuckle, south at this crossroads here. I don't know if that'll factor into your debriefing or not.
Hey, whoever's commanding these guys over here, they're too far really to do anything. Let them know.
Yeah, fair.
I mean, they may actually be shooting that far, but they're.
I figure it would be. I figure it would mostly be skirmishing, but I feel like that might be a little too much.
Yeah, maybe they'd have skirmishers forward. No, you can show the smoke there, but.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's combat's done. Still not that much.
You hear what I said about Fairbuckle?
Sorry, what? Where? Who?
So Negley is sending 3 infantry southwest along this road and south of the intersection here. I don't know if that'll factor into your debriefing at all.
It might, yeah. If they're holding the line of retreat, it could be huge. We'll find out. All right, what time is it?
2:20. Yes.
All right, so who's Thomas? 14, 20.
So what was the question?
Thomas is still with Negley.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do theirs.
Hardy is on his own. I'll move him. Do you want me to continue taking Hardy because he's got Clayton's troops under his command? Or?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Okay.
So since the disruption that the cannons take was only from like the spooling of the guns, would they also still like recover while like traveling?
Yes.
Okay.
About to get the zoomed in view of disaster. Okay, General Claiborne. So your guns are mostly arrived and unlimbered. The Sweat's Mississippi battery's just getting into position now to start firing. Liddell is moving into the woods on the battery's east and forming up in there. Churchill's got the Arkansas boys moving up to cover, take position in the woods on the west, with the Texas boys covering the artillery, and Polk's coming up and starting to deploy kind of behind Churchill's position. You can see Stewart not far to the south of you, southeast, And the enemy brigade sent some skirmishers up, fire pot shots at your artillery, but their infantry's a little bit too far out of musket range. But your guns have no problem hitting them, and so they're starting to lob cannonballs into their ranks.
Yes, they are. All right. It looks like it's going to take me another turn to be ready to assault. But I also know that Breckenridge is starting to collapse on the left. So as Polk deploys here behind Churchill, I kind of want him to get that regiment facing. Let's see here. So that first Arkansas, let's bring them up level with Churchill's 19th and 24th Arkansas there in the woods. So to the left of them, right? And then I want Polk's guys to come up and form in line behind that first lead regiment.
Okay.
I know we're going to be in front of Breckenridge's line, but he doesn't seem anxious to move it. On the right, I see Lydell has deployed those first two regiments into line, and the other ones are going to form up to their right. Let's do that just like you did with those first two. Let's do that two deep. And hopefully, I know they're moving through the woods, and they should not be a double click. I'm not trying to make their fatigue any worse than it already is, but want to get them in line, and Liddell can actually start to swing the right of those regiments out toward the road, because we're gonna hit that end Union regiment on the oblique there. Not this turn. Next turn.
Okay. Got it. You're staying here, I assume.
Thank you, sir. What's that?
You're staying here, I assume.
Yeah. Unless it gets too hot, I'm gonna stay. It's the only other place I could go, I think, is the woods where Churchill is at, just so I can see the left side of the line. But I kind of want to see what my boys are getting up to, so I'm good right here.
James, Rousseau has ordered this battery here to take the place of this abandoned artillery battery. Is that possible?
Yep.
Okay. So I'll just put it over top like that.
I mean, they're not dead. Well, I guess they are dead.
I would not want to be a Union soldier today. The flanks are getting ripped into by canister just at point blank. And they're being charged by the 9th Alabama to buy time for them to get across the bridge.
All right, it's interesting combat. Let's start here. I'm pretty sure he's gonna break. Yep. Question is, how much damage does he do back?
And I'm really kind of glad that each side decided here that they wanted to have like 3 entire brigades concentrated in like a square mile.
Yeah. It's a lot more concentrated than we normally see it.
So, Brandon wants his artillery to focus on counter battery fire now, and he's also fine with refusing the flank here if needed.
I guess we're shooting them. 1, 2, 4. Oh, they're charging the battery?
Yep.
Okay.
They're attempting to take away.
Oh, so they're just going to die?
Oh, man.
They hit it behind the bank and then charged over after they shot. Apparently.
What? Wait, charging across the creek? Come on. That would take like massive disruption damage, in my opinion.
They did get massive disruption. They went from 0 to 4.
I mean, they didn't take any damage from the battery opening up on them. Like it had reached the that position like relatively early in the last turn, so they would have been firing this entire turn, or almost this entire turn.
I mean, it was pretty bad.
And I just can't see infantry attacking across the creek into the canister shot.
At this point, I don't think it's like a full-on charge. I think it's literally just sniping them.
Yeah, if the
it's
bank
that
gives you
close.
cover and you can kind of just peek over and shoot at the artillery officers at 20 yards away.
Right.
Fair enough.
And also, too, depending on how deep the creek is, the guns may not be able to
fire into it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Too much of an angle. Defilade.
Fair enough,
Whatever
I suppose.
That's the word I'm looking for.
Basically, this is like the platonic result of a charge. You do take the position, but you were incredibly disrupted afterwards.
Yeah, I mean they're not.
There is no line afterwards.
Okay, and Breckenridge got.
That's the reason you always send in reserves, kids.
So Breckenridge and Hardy are together now. Move them.
Let's combine them.
Yep, got him.
All right, that is now 240. So the Union's super concentrated on the Confederate left, and the Confederates are super concentrated on the Union left. But the Union's still got a whole division just barely arriving.
Yeah, exactly.
So we'll see. I guess they're going right.
Welcome to the roundabout, kids.
What's going on down here? Stewart's division. Or sorry, Stewart's brigade.
He's moving up.
Give me. They are double timing it to support.
No, I mean these guys here.
Oh, they were held up because there were troops moving along the road, so they're still advancing, but they were just held up.
Okay, so they're going to join the double timing.
Yes, next turn.
Imagine being one of those poor bastards having to double time across several miles in fucking Confederate uniforms. Full wool, 80 pounds of fucking
in June.
Gun and weapon and ammo and like blanket.
Yeah, at what point is it worth just getting shot at in order to be able to stop running?
Are Negley and Thomas still together?
No, Thomas moved over to Brandon. Where'd the Brandon go?
Brandon went right over here to this position because he wants to see how the situation's going.
Yeah, let me move them together now. I just wanted to wait for them to give orders so they couldn't like talk to each other. Okay, they're together.
Are you going to take Hardy and Breckenridge?
Yeah, XDX should have them. XDX, you got Hardy?
Yeah. Yeah, I can do Hardy and Breckenridge.
I forgot you were doing the screenshots for XDX. Okay. All right.
All right, General Cleburne. So all your guns are firing now. It's an impressive battery. The enemies continue to just stand there and take it, basically. Polk is deploying on the left of Churchill. His men are still arriving. Liddell's also still deploying on the right. And you can see Stewart's Brown's brigade moving up behind you. Breckinridge's line's unmoving for the most part, from what you can see, and a little bit movement beyond the Union line as well.
Yeah, looks like looks like we got some more folks out there. All right. Interesting. I see Stewart. Damn. Okay, we'll just keep moving in the line. I want to. I'm gonna ride. I want to ride to where Stewart's at. As much as I hate to leave this. Think,
Actually, it looks like he's coming to you.
okay, that'll work. All right.
What are your orders? Are they advancing or still just deploying?
I want them to just keep deploying because I can't tell what. Can't tell what's happening there. Damn it. Yeah, let's get them. Let's continue to get them deployed. But I want Polk. I want Polk to move the 1st Arkansas up into that woods in front of him.
Okay.
Just short of the road. And the regiment behind them can follow, and the other ones, the subsequent ones that are still moving into line, they just keep deploying, and Liddell keep getting his men into line. I'd like to. Stewart's coming to me. Can I shift over to the right, the regiment to my right, the far right of this battery, without screwing that up, without screwing up Stewart coming to me?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. That's it for me, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you. G Puzzle, were you the one that moved these guys over here?
Yes. Negley asked him to get positioned and reform behind this field.
Yeah. So I
So
think
that's
you've
what I.
moved them a little bit too far because they got to get the order to move,
Oh.
return permission, go through
Yeah, fair.
the forest. So let's keep that in mind.
Smidge too much. Brennan is currently he's going with the attack of 2nd Brigade and is currently leading it.
Who is what?
No, Brennan is leading the attack from 2nd Brigade, 3rd Division.
Oh, okay. He's with Negley.
And as
Negley.
it's thrusting towards the southeast, not Negley, Brennan, who's moved around here. So Brennan and Negley are going to be not conjoined. That's the wrong word.
Co-located. I'll move them together.
Co-located, yep. To be fair, the idea of conjoined generals is not something I look forward to. That sounds very unpleasant.
Abomination. Not too far.
Oh, forgot to mark.
Oh, they're doing double time? Well, then in that case. I already rolled combat for that.
This battery?
Oh, nope, not that one.
Okay, they rolled a 4 against this infantry.
Were they already at the 5?
Yes.
Alright, that's breaking.
Yep.
Also, James, there should be a revision to the combat over here.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of strange. He specifically requested not to turn and fire this artillery, but to countercharge with the 13th, 20th Louisiana.
Oh.
So these guys won't be broken by the artillery; they'll just be charged, I guess. Over here.
Well, we'll make it a combo of that. Okay. Alright. I think we're done. 3 p.m. We might actually get to nighttime with this battle. It might be called by the darkness.
Some very strange choices by the Confederates here on the left, but
They're getting run over.
They're taking.
the what?
They're taking too long to attack.
Oh
on the
no.
right.
Yeah, they're getting absolutely run over on the left. It's a good defense position across the creek, but once the Unions across that creek, they're toast.
I can do Stewart's screenshot because he's with Clay.
Okay. Is there anyone else?
Thomas is going to stay roughly where Negley was. Sorry, where Brennan was, and then Brennan's just going to be in this huge undivided chaos.
Yeah, I hate moving things around in here. I think that everything in here should just start taking like increasing disruption damage since it's just everybody on top of each other at this point.
It is very cramped. Holy fuck.
I'll take Hardy, James, since you've got Stuart.
Oh yeah, please do. Thank you.
I'll still keep on with Thomas.
All right, Breckenridge gets to see the chaos that is the left wing. All right, then I gotta do Negley still. Or who's? Because Negley and Brendan are together. I don't know. It's turning quite.
I think we were discussing that they weren't together because of the.
Oh, I got them.
One of them was leading from.
Well,
Okay.
they're right next to each other, so.
And all that chaos, yeah, I don't think they're separating. So, okay.
Alright, I think I did all the screenshots.
Right.
Alright, so General Stewart has ridden up to join General Claiborne, who are both of you just behind the very loud batteries. The enemy brigade, Union Brigade directly north of you, is retreating into the trees, but a new brigade is arriving, as you can see on the right, and advancing south. Let's see, Polk's moving up on the left as ordered, and I think you can see beyond that the Woods, Alabama boys are moving up also directly under
They moved.
the direction of Hardy.
They moved. All right. Good job. All right, James. I want to advance little Lydell to the road. Like I want him up to the road. I want to get him shooting. And it looks to me like I can redirect 2 of those batteries to engage that artillery we see off to the left. I know they're still limbered. But let's start shooting at those limbered cannon. As many, and I think the guns on the right are going to have to start engaging. Is that looks like the damn. Is that the 21st Wisconsin? Yep. So it looks like the guns on the right need to shoot at the 21st Wisconsin. I want the guns on the left to start shooting at that limbered battery. I want Lydell to advance to the road. And I want...
Is Polk still advancing, or is he holding?
So he's got... I don't want to mass those guns. Damn. Okay, change that. I want Liddell, all the batteries, and the Texas boys, just like they are, right? So maintain their positioning. I want the batteries to advance to the road. I want Liddell to advance to the road. I want Churchill to stay relative to the batteries. So that means his regiment on the left will go to the road. The Texas guys will stay behind the batteries. That's going to leave a little bit of the gap. I want Polk to get too deep and too wide along that road there, and we're going to start pushing through those trees.
Okay. And you are staying here?
I'm going to stay behind the batteries with the Texas infantry.
Okay. And Stuart, your orders?
So I'm going to have Brown's brigade advance up and slightly to and behind the Texans in support, and bring the battery up and see if it can begin to engage the enemy to its front. And then Johnson's brigade, I want it to start to swing to the right around to the woods, just to the right of the batteries to our front.
Going into the woods?
Yeah, they're going to go into the woods.
Okay. All right. Got it. And you two are staying together here?
Yes.
All right, got it.
Hardy has ordered a charge of all his units.
Jesus. Yeah, no, this is not gonna be a pleasant outing. Holy fuck.
I don't even know why the boys brought cartridges today. Just
Yeah.
Artillery and charges. That's all you need.
artillery and the bayonet.
The bayonet is a trusty friend. The bullet is a fool.
This artillery battery just unlimbered. I don't know if it would be firing this turn.
I won't roll then.
Just won't go for it then.
Combat.
That was one thing on the beginner games that I didn't exactly figure out on charges. I know the defender gets a roll for firing a volley, and then both sides roll for the charge.
Yep. Just one of these things.
And then what? Is it just one turn that they engage in the charge, or can they be engaged in melee combat for longer than that?
They can be multiple turns.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it can be multiple turns.
Okay, so they're shooting.
Because sometimes you just get these very because really it's close combat. It's not literally charges, so you can have it literally be just like people firing at each other from 25 yards away.
Gotcha. Okay, so it's not full-on bayonet charge. It's they hit the line, and then the lines kind of separate, do their thing, but they're at very close range.
Well,
they are very close range. There's bayonet charge also counts as part of that. There is a passage in Emil Springs report, which is like there's one member from a Confederate regiment who has his rifle perched atop a fence. There's a member of a Union regiment that's doing the same thing, and they're shooting at each other.
It felt really bad when Breckenridge was like, "Oh yeah, I got to get this guy out of the way, charge him across the river." In the same exact turn that Megley was like, "All right, we're gonna be turning these cannons into shotguns."
Oh boy! Oh no!
Hardy's.
Oh
no! Is Hardy leading from the front, or is he behind?
Behind.
Okay.
Behind, yeah.
Oh. Yeah, if he was leading from the front, boy!
But less so.
That's playing with fire.
So I saw these guys got shattered. Did someone roll for that already, or because they weren't shattered last turn?
Yeah, they were already at 3, and they're charging across the river into 3 batteries of
so you decided
point blank cannons. Yeah, I mean, I don't because I don't see any reality where you can get shot at like across like the the ranks by 2 cannon shots and then like head on by another canister shot.
Right, and it's not like they were at the creek like the Union infantry were earlier. Because those cannons were butted up right against the creek. These ones have a little bit of range.
Alright, I think the combat's done. $320.
Who's covering Rousseau? Because Thomas is renaming with Rousseau.
I'm covering Rousseau. I can take Thomas.
Are they together now?
Excellent.
Yeah, let me put them together.
Okay. And Negley and Brandon are separate now, right?
Yeah.
Where'd
Brandon's over
Oh,
here.
Brandon's back. Okay. Alright,
Brandon's about to experience something strange. Good lord.
Don't forget, if there are units that are somewhere safe and not moving, they do recover their broken status, so I think I forgot to keep moving these guys. They'd probably be maybe recovering down here.
Is this broken unit over here recovering, or is it kind of out of the fight?
You can let's put it back by the wagons with these guys.
Okay.
They can all start recovering soon. I don't think they'll get back in this fight today, but maybe they could. Okay, sorry, screenshots. Breckenridge. Where'd Breckenridge go? Oh yeah, he's in the Maelstrom. So
He doesn't do much, so he's in the same place.
He took on 2 divisions by himself, and unfortunately the rest of his army wasn't fast enough to attack the other divisions. Alright, your screenshots are done. XDX.
Yep. And
I'll keep Stewart, because he's staying with Claiborne, so I'll take that.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I'll take Hardy again.
Yep. Makes it easy. Alright, gentlemen. The cannon are moving up to the road, about to unlimber and redeploy. Some Union guns beat you to it and are firing into you. It just barely started firing into you now. Some of Churchill's boys are firing at them, trying to provide cover. Liddell's moved up onto the road and is trading fire at pretty extreme range, not super effective, but shooting at what appears to be Rousseau's division. And it looks like you can even see General Thomas himself. On the left, Polk's moved up, but he sends word that he's not engaged yet. But he did witness General Hardy lead a charge with Wood's brigade.
Oh! General Hardy! All right.
What are your orders?
All right, so let's get those batteries deployed. Polk is in a good spot. So I want Polk to go. If he saw Hardy go on his left, I want him to go. But I want him. Yeah.
Brown can fall in where Polk was.
Okay. Yeah. James, what I kind of want to do because I can see the 38th Ohio over there, and I know that there's somebody shooting at somebody off to their right. Like, I want Polk to hit the unit that's firing at whoever. I want him to hit that unit with the first 2 regiments, and I want the second 2 regiments in that charge to hit the 38th Ohio to the. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And you know what? And I want. God, I kind of just want to go, General Stewart.
Hey, like I said, I have Brown kind of behind your Texans. I can fill the line in to the left of, looks like it's Churchill's guys that are firing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I want. That's what I want Polk to do, James. And then I want to get those batteries online, and
Is Liddell to keep advancing or hold where he's at?
I want him to hold where he's at. Keep those units fixed, and then we should have 3 batteries firing next turn. I want at least 2 of them to take on that battery, and I want the one on the far right to fire in the general direction of the Wisconsin boys and General Thomas.
Okay. Anything else?
That's it for me. Oh, I need to send one of my staff officers and make sure those wagons are getting up to these batteries and the units that have been engaged.
All right. Yep. You're sending them. General Stewart, your orders.
So I want Brown to fall into behind where Polk was and take up Polk's position on the left of Churchill. And I want Brown's battery to come up where it can, unlimber, and just start pouring fire into that other Union battery. And then for Johnson's men, I want them to start to swing around, even if they have to skirt around that little woods that protrudes out around the right, and try to get around on the right-hand side of the Union.
Okay. And where did you want the artillery that's close by? Where did you want it to go?
Brown's artillery, if they can sneak in somewhere near Churchill, either on the right or left of Churchill, to start firing at that first Union battery that's firing at us.
Okay. Got it. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
James, is that you moving these guns down here?
Yeah.
Not particularly.
What were their orders?
The guns are unlimbering and firing.
Because these infantry were ordered just general attack. They're not charging, so I imagine they would start getting volleys in on the cannons before they open fire.
Yeah.
Yep. What's the battery covers? That's the battery, Mississippi battery.
What is that sound? These guys are.
Jesus Christ, it's so over.
Batteries are dead too.
It's so over for the Confederacy in this flank.
So
Those guys miss.
More breaking. I'm gonna roll for Hardy getting shot at. 60's dead. Oh my gosh!
Did he die?
I'm sorry.
He
Hardy.
died.
I'm sorry.
He just took a bullet.
He got caught in the flight out.
Absolutely lacking.
Oh, he got.
Right, but
Oh, Hardy got.
that's
Wait,
just
Hardy got it. Did you?
that's
You
just
should
like
roll
the battle,
for-
right? I mean, like at that point, I think
Yeah,
the Union
I
wins.
don't.
once word
Yeah,
gets
I
out.
don't think that. Yeah, I don't think the 32nd Alabama got a shot in at Brannon because he specifically ordered for them to. Do you think you should roll for Brannon?
Where's Brandon?
He was right here, and the
Oh
Alabamans
yeah,
were
we'll
right
give him a
there.
roll too. Oh, he's less
Yeah,
important
just
than
to.
that. Alright, here you go. That one. Yeah, he dodged
Ooh.
it.
He
Ooh.
survives. Oh, yeah, no, that's definitely the battle.
So the Confederate CIC is laying in a trampled up cornfield, staring at the sky.
Like the end of Breaking Bad.
No, it's the end of The Sopranos. It just cuts to black.
Don't stop. Those were probably his last words to his men as he ordered them to
Yeah,
try
exactly.
and continue their charge. Don't stop,
Yep.
boys. Cut.
So they'd be home by Christmas, not that they would be home alive.
Oh,
I already rolled all of this combat over here, James.
All of it you did?
Except for I did not roll this battery, so I didn't know what they were going to be shooting at if they were.
Shouldn't the batteries be taken, like the spoiling of the guns disruption?
This battery has only been in play for 2 turns.
Yeah. So these batteries firing canister shot didn't do any disruption to these guys?
Well, we were saying that these guns were just unlimbering when the infantry got their first shots off at them, because the infantry weren't ordered to charge; they were ordered to just engage the Confederates.
Yeah, but they were unlimbered last turn, so they had 20 minutes of firing.
Were they unlimbered last turn?
They
I
were
thought they were.
like right at it. Yeah, I'll just
Okay, so yeah, go ahead and roll for the cannons, see what they do.
a little something. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's bad for the Confederates, but we gotta wait for word to reach them that their commanders died.
So
Yeah.
should anything be even given to Hardy, or
So give him a screenshot, let him know he died, and then write a dispatch, or have him write a dispatch of some subordinate informing everyone else that he's dead, and then we'll give him a few
Okay.
turns to see what they do with it. I think the
Attention, everyone. This is Hardy's ghost.
So now is 340.
How many more turns do you think we're going to go for?
Well, I think once the left flank breaks and soon after Hardy's breaking, I think it'll be pretty obvious by that point.
Yeah, I don't see the Confederates breaking through in this area, and it's gonna be literally just a matter of this much time that they have here, and I think it's literally just Breckenridge here, and there's no way he can shift reserves. So this part is just going to get absolutely run over.
Yeah.
and the Union still has plenty of relatively fresh troops.
Yet another case of it all being almost never worth it to double time him in.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you have to for positioning, but if you don't have to, don't do it.
But yeah, I would not double time into a charge.
A fight, yeah.
Yep.
Alright. Did I do the wrong? Oh crap! Hold on. I gave Negley. Copy. I gave Douglas Breckenridge's.
Oh wait,
Oh man.
It's got
good
secret
lord.
intel.
All right.
Or
Let me go inform General Hardy of that the claims of his death are not exaggerated.
I'm gonna do the scene from the ending of Gettysburg with Farmstead.
Oh, I should see if I can find that GIF to put in his channel real quick.
should do it.
Yep.
You got time. He's dead.
You got time. He's dead. What a phrase. What a phrase.
What would the Confederates down here were like recovering from being broken to as they, get recovered?
They shouldn't be that recovered. Nothing.
Wait, when did they get here? Like last turn?
Just barely last turn.
Oh, okay, yeah. I thought that we had like forgotten about them. My bad.
This is by far the longest turn thus far. In terms of late resolution time.
Yeah, that happened. I hate that IKS is winning because I don't want to appear biased for the IKS, but we're just doing what we're doing. What do you need, Gideon? Yeah. What? Okay, I will meet them. I'm in a game. All right. All right, gentlemen. Well, for Claiborne, your division is pretty full on engaged now. Liddell says he's taking casualties in his front ranks, but holding with lots of reserves. Still at a pretty far range. He recommends moving up to be more effective, or even charging. Polk doesn't send word, but you can catch glimpses of fighting in the woods to the west. You can see blue-coated soldiers fleeing out of the woods heading north, so it looks like he's doing pretty good there. You got 4 batteries now fired and shooting at close range, canister shot, pretty devastating. Enemies getting cut down in giant swaths. Brown is moving to the northwest behind Polk as ordered, and Johnson sends a dispatch to acknowledge his orders, and he's moving around on the right of the woods onto the enemy's flank.
Okay. I want Sweat's battery to shift fire to the 21st Wisconsin. Looks like the 21st Wisconsin.
Okay.
And I want Liddell Liddell needs to go. Like I want him to charge.
Okay.
Polk. It looks like he routed the Ohio. I want him to keep pushing, but I want those 2 Tennessee units in the back to hit that battery on the flank. And I want the 48th Tennessee to move up behind the 35th Tennessee as it goes.
Okay.
And I want to move between. I'm just gonna move to the so that Texas unit that's in front of me to the right. I just want to move to its right flank so that I can see what happens with Liddell's charge. And my orders to Churchill are that okay, so my orders to Churchill are that if he sees those units directly in front of him start to waver, that I want him to send his men. Like I want him to go.
Okay. Stuart, your orders?
All right, I want to send a dispatch rider to Johnson and order them to support. I guess that's Liddell charge. I want them to go with Liddell, and then Brown is to continue to support Polk, but to swing a little bit to the left of Polk, and I want to ride up to where Brown is so I can see what's going on that flank.
Okay. All right, you got that. Okay. All right, next turn you guys will not be co-located.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Who did the combat over here last time?
I did.
All right, you want to do it again?
Yep.
Still holding. There's like nothing. These guys are done.
We're done. Now, if there's a follow-on unit for a charge, does the defender still get to... Jeez, oh man. Does the defender still get to roll for firing a volley at them? Or does it just devolve
No,
into melee
there's
combat?
just lots of melee after that.
Gotcha.
Just one of those things where, like, if you're gonna order a charge, you can't. I can't beat that shallow. This was very much a shallow charge by the Confederates. It was across the entire line, and they only had a couple of like deep units.
Which one was
with
the
reserves
shallow
instead of
charge?
like.
Where are you saying the shallow charge was?
That is a difficult thing to pull off, and I say this as someone who has pulled it off. Trying to charge along the entire line, you need to have any sort of like, not just a cohesive plan, but a matter of timing, I would say, and having fresh forces that it can throw at it. And the Confederates did not have that, so they just battered themselves against the Union forces just as they were arriving.
The canister
which
shot,
turned into a.
The canister shot slot should get +2 for its roll.
Okay. So, yeah, this one's done then.
Wait, I already rolled those
Oh,
two.
okay.
So this one hadn't quite broke yet.
I rolled for that one in the melee combat. This one and this one both broke.
Oh, okay.
So.
But I had already.
Yep. So
no, that's you know what? It's fine because we'll make it more decisive. Okay. All right. I guess Hardy's note will arrive this turn.
Will that just go to all officers?
Yeah, just send it to everyone.
Okay.
1600, and then we'll see how they react. Breckenridge.
Who has Brennan?
Thanks, G.
That would be me.
Do you also want to take Thomas as well, since they're together?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I figured that.
Then, since I only have one for this turn, I'll take care of dispatches for everyone.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, James, I already put the 1600 in Cleburn's channel.
Oh.
How to deliver a dispatch.
Anyway.
All right, General Claiborne, you move to the right of the Texas line and watch Liddell's attack go in. It looks like the front ranks have been repulsed and are fleeing back, but the ones behind are moving up to replace them and still advancing on the Union position. The guns, in the meantime, continue to fire their canister shot to pretty good effect. And Polk sends word that he's at the edge of the woods now, broken through 2 regiments, and still pressing north. But that there are new Union regiments arriving from the northwest, countercharging.
Okay. Brown should be moving up in support.
And you got some dispatches too.
Oh, sorry. I was engrossed in the map. Let me see what we got here.
Rather important one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Okay. Well, I'll send a dispatch to... I'll type this up after I give you my orders, but I'm sending a dispatch to Stewart and Breckenridge to let them know that Hardy is down. Okay. So my orders to Polk are... My orders to Polk are to reconsolidate in a position that he can take on the countercharge. I want my batteries to continue to engage. I want to send word to Johnson on my right. Actually, I want to move further to my right, behind the 13th and 15th Arkansas, to see if I can see where Johnson's at. But I want him to hit that the right of the Union line. Well, it's their left. I want them to get in there, and I don't know why that battery's still firing on my left. Soon as Churchill sees any weakness opposite him, he needs the batteries to cease fire, and he needs the Texas boys to go. And then I'll type up that dispatch for Breckenridge and Stewart.
Okay.
Actually, you know what?
All right, General Stewart. So you move to the west, where you find Polk's boys fighting with the Union on the edge of these woods over here. Brown's brigade starting to deploy and support him as well. Let's see, with the rest still coming up behind in column. As you look west, you can see some of Breckenridge's guns still engaged with Union guns to the further west, and then lots of fighting down in that direction.
Sorry, did I drop myself out of there?
Hello?
Hey, you're in a,
Hey.
did you have more orders?
Oh, sorry. No. I'm good. I'm not sure how I ended up
You must have
with you.
All right, I moved him back. All right, what are your orders?
Sorry. So let's see. Let's can that what is it? The 18th Tennessee? Can that swing around and hit the flank of those two Union regiments that are in front of Polk?
Yep.
All right, and bring up the next two regiments of Brown in support, and the final two to come up but not engage, just kind of protect that flank a little bit, but stay out of range of that artillery.
Okay.
And actually, I'm going to lead the charge into those two Union regiments with the ones that are going to engage and on that flank attack.
Okay.
That should be it, sir.
Thank you. All right. Why don't we split it here? So, yeah, canister shot gets +2. They're breaking. General route. Let's see, then I'll do this here.
Do these cannons over here get a chance to fire off?
Yeah, give them one. So short range, so they get the +2 shot. One roll to shoot at them as they come in.
Then I imagine the cannons just get overrun automatically when they get charged.
Yeah, basically. If they can't
Okay.
pulse it with their one shot, then.
Yeah. Nope. Both of them rolled 2s.
Alright, you done?
Yep. Good.
Alright. So the left is breaking. They got a pretty strong attack in the center, though. I think Brennan's countercharging probably.
Yeah, but he can swing 2 fresh units right into the flank of this attack here without any support.
Let's do.
The only possible way I see the Confederates getting like some semblance of a possible victory out of this is if this attack is able to go the whole way in and shatter the flank.
Yeah.
But even then, you've still got all this that can.
Well, I would think so. The loss of the general would be pretty demoralizing. I don't know if they would, everyone would up and abandon the field immediately, but morale would be lower, especially once Breckinridge is routed. So if by my rules, the chain route rules, we just had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units break. So even the units that are fresh, technically would turn and run with that on the left flank. So we could call it here. I don't know. Is it worth playing out more just to see how it develops? Because for me, it's pretty obvious the Confederates are in trouble. But
I mean, it's getting pretty late for me too.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty obvious because
Yeah, the
the
way that I
Union
look
at
at
the
it-
very least can capture this whole road.
I mean, also how I'm looking at it is that
Union
like
can capture this whole road. Hardy's dead.
even where like the Confederates are doing well, like all their attacks are kind of isolated, right? Like they have just like kind of chunks and blocks of units, while the Union is more kind of evenly distributed in a proper line, I think.
And where they did break through, they don't have any mass to follow that attack up.
Mm. Well, these guys, they have nothing but mass over here.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they'll follow behind.
And we have to remember, like, the Union has sent these guys, cut off their line of retreat.
Mm.
And they could probably even still.
Hardy's dead. Yeah. No. I mean that in general. Even if they're not recalled, they're still cutting off the line of retreat for the Confederates. Because they just do not care at all given the situation. It is a even if they do manage to like better their way through, they don't have an easy way to follow up because this was like three charges launched with no reserve behind it. If they had one reserve, they had like one single division or one single brigade that they could throw into whatever gap pops up. The Union, I would say, is absolutely done for, but they do not have anything. It is just open ground for miles.
Plus, it's late in the day. They've lost the Confederacy has lost their commander. Even at the end of the day, they're not going to be able to follow through on a major defeat. They're probably going to pull back.
Yep.
All right.
They're going to pull back, and we're going to have whatever part of the line retreat is cut off anyway, which is its own mess.
All right, let's bring it.
Well, I mean, to be frank, I don't know how well 3 brigades can cut off an entire army from breaking through.
Whoa.
They can do.
If you land on an opponent's rear, You just trigger like a real life morale check.
All right,
Steve
how do we
has
do?
15 prep.
All right, welcome everyone. So the umpires decide to call it at this point. We feel like we've reached a decisive, a point where we can decisively call the winner. So I'm going to share my screen and talk through it. Like we did at Raffia, basically do a post-op on what happened. The umpires will share their pieces and what they had, and all the players have a chance to share their experience. So I'm going to go first as share my screen. So you're gonna see the big picture now here. So here's the battle. I started off with 4 people, went down to 1, and then ended up with 2. So as commanders moved around, we juggled them. But for the most part, I had Claiborne the whole thing, Stewart towards the end, Thomas at the beginning, and who else did I have? Hardy and a few others every now and then. So, as you know, the Union came in here from the north on this road, and the Confederacy came here on this road. Single road, both arriving at the exact same time. Both armies with the same order of battle. I was trying my best to make it as even as, fair as possible anyway. Maybe not even, but fair. So the tournament was reasonable. So the Confederates, their first division split off and went north on this road, and then the other 2 took this road here and went that way. And I think, well, I'll get into that a little bit later, but I think sending the 2 this way and the 1 that way ended up proving fateful because, as we'll talk about later, the 1 on the left got outnumbered and the 2 on the right were a little bit over-concentrated. We'll get into that. On the Union side, they also broke off 1 division left, Negley, and then Brennan went here south, and then I think Rousseau also went left. And we'll have to hear from the umpire. I think Rousseau did a little bit of moving around. I'm not sure what happened back up there, but he took him a while to get to the battle, but I think he finally arrived down this road. In terms of the battle itself, so Brennan, the Confederates deployed faster than the Union. Breckinridge was deployed right along here pretty early on, even as Negley was arriving down this road, and took him under artillery fire. So Breckinridge was in a good position to start, and then Claiborne arrived soon after and deployed right here on his right. And so the Confederates had a pretty strong defensive position with an anchor on the river here and this mountain forest here and river. Kind of a nice little funnel for the Union to come into. But what happened is Negley deployed up here, and Brennan arrived and deployed roughly here. And then the 2 double-teamed Breckinridge pretty much the rest of the battle. So Breckinridge the whole time was fighting against 2 divisions. He did pretty good, but when you're outnumbered 2 to 1, it's just difficult to overcome those odds. So Negley sent a pretty concentrated charge a couple hours back, which broke half of Breckinridge's division, and then here at the end of the battle, basically his whole division's breaking under heavy artillery fire. In the center, Claiborne deployed and then steadily advanced, trying to fill out the Union position, with Stewart coming in behind him. I think one area that the Confederates could have improved is, Stewart's division really didn't get to the action until the very end, and even isn't that involved yet still. He would have done better. Well, he would have done better to go left first of all to reinforce Breckinridge to begin with. But even coming here on the right, he should have deployed and reinforced Breckinridge, in my opinion, rather than deploying behind Claiborne. But here on the right, Claiborne, inched up and attacked. First, it was the right or the east which would be the left wing of Brennan's division, and was doing some pretty good artillery fire on them. And then they were replaced by Rousseau when he finally arrived. And then Claiborne launched some good charges with Polk up through here, and then Liddell up through here, supported by Johnson on over there and Brown over here. Unfortunately, by then it was too late. I forgot to mention Hardy launched or organized and launched a charge here in the middle as well, a little bit earlier, not seen. Very, 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 very unlucky for him. In that fight, he caught a stray bullet and he died. He was too close to the action, and it was unfortunate. So he died in the middle of the fight about an hour back. That word is reaching the Confederate lines now, lowering morale, and that was a major part of the decision to call it a Union victory. One, Hardy's death would be pretty demoralizing for the Confederate corps. Two, Breckinridge's breaking on the left would also be pretty dramatic. Stewart and Claiborne are doing all right here at the end, but with the news of the corps, the general's death plus their left wing breaking, I think they'd be forced to withdraw and try to consolidate and save their army. Meanwhile, the Union's even sending a brigade all the way to Fairfield to cut off the retreat, so the Confederates could be in a tough spot as they try to withdraw for the day. Very well fought on both sides. I ended up being with the Confederates more than the Union, and it was fun to umpire for them. I hope they had a fun time doing it. It was a good battle, and I think I spoke too long, so I'm going to turn it over to the other umpires to share their experience. So we'll start with G Puzzle.
Oh well. So I was in command of Brannon and parts of it over Thomas, so I was in charge of him. The Union had a habit of getting lucky. They would deploy at the last possible second, or they would move all their cannon forward to be used essentially as shotguns, while the Confederacy would be just sending someone charging. So blunted a lot of things by this limits of margins, but and at some point, both Brannon and Hardy were at danger of getting shot. Brannon absolutely deflected his. Hardy did not, and unfortunately passed. But looking at it, I would say that this is a victory for the Union that is going to have a lot of effects on the upcoming Homa campaign. At the strategic level, this is probably the big battle that gets mentioned until Gettysburg. The Gettysburg happens a couple of days later, and then after that you have the end of the siege of Gettysburg. So it's going to be a very, very bright Union. For the Confederacy, the loss of General Hardy is probably significant at this point in time. He's probably he is, for lack of better terms, the authority on basic regimental level tactics. So that would still be an effect, but he was still very much a guy who was quarreling. So there's probably going to be yet more quarreling in the Western theater for the people who are interested in the sort of chaos that was Confederate command in the West. I'll pass that on to the other umpires.
Thank you, G Puzzle. And I didn't say it yet, but thank you to the umpires who helped me run this. I appreciate them volunteering and filling in. We'll hear from Slock now.
So I bounced around a little bit. I had Stewart. I think I had Rousseau most of the match, but I also was in charge of Hardy when I informed him of his ill-timed demise. What happened with Rousseau is that he originally was coming down this road, and then his original idea was to just off-road trek direct southwest towards the battlefield. found out that the terrain there was not conducive to that, so then some of his brigades ended up waiting here, then marching down all of this through this road, and really arriving in the nick of time to act as a reserve for the Union eastern flank. So I think that really went well for the Union side, that it wasn't intentional, but it worked out pretty darn good, because I think if the Confederates had been able to press the attack, and that was something I saw with Stuart when they were down in this area, there was definitely a lot of units concentrated down here that it took them some time to get into formation and begin pressing the attack on the eastern flank of the battlefield. And the attacks in the center, it seemed like the Confederacy was really going in with the bayonet for most of the battle, not wanting to. It was either under commitment or over commitment on their side, where the Union had enough forces to plug in any gaps, fill in anything, and that's partially where I reached my decision with this as well, is that the Union has enough mass that they can either plug any gaps put in by the Confederacy in the line, especially the one up here to the north around these artillery batteries. But yeah, the Confederates just don't have that mass yet, and the left flank is gone, and they've lost their commander in chief. So I think overall, all sides did pretty darn good, but most of my players were in marching sim for half the battle. But still a very good battle.
Yep. All right, XTX.
I had Megley and Breckenridge. I think they were the first contact between the Union and the Confederacy. I have to say, up in the north here where I was absolutely awful terrain to fight in. And I could sense that some of the players are kind of frustrated with the terrain here, which I can't really blame them for. I know I would be too. It was kind of hard to tell, especially with how dense the units were, where forests like began and ended, and where like certain guns could shoot at each other or not. But it was just like the sheer volume of units up here in such awful terrain. I don't think anybody would have had fun fighting up here. But I think both players did the best they could with the circumstances of, again, the completely awful terrain to fight in.
Thank you, XTX. All right, now we'll hear from the players, those that have stuck around. I'm just going to go down the list. So we'll start with Brennan first.
Audio check. Am I coming in clear or robotic?
I got it very clear.
Okay, clear. Great. Yeah, we took the wrong road to start. I don't know if that was an umpire error or a deliberate wrench thrown in our plans. I'd kind of like to know. I'm not cross with the umpire or anything in any way, shape, or form if that was an umpire error, because I think things like that are kind of cool, and it provides a fun wrinkle for the players to deal with.
Which road was the wrong road?
We were to the east of the river. We didn't cross at the little ford there, Crow's Ford or something, whatever there, right there. Yeah. Yeah, we continued south on that road to the east. Just a little ways. I caught that and I ordered a counter march. So I don't know if that was an intentional thing. I'm guessing now it was an umpire error. But it was actually kind of a cool Kriegsspiel moment, because that thing happened. That sort of thing happens. So we counter marched. We came in online. I spent most of the time holding on for dear life. At one point, we contributed to the attack on what's his name there, Breckenridge, I think. And I think we had some good effect. I piled on my artillery. I ended up forming a grand battery. That's not something I normally do, and I sort of did it unintentionally. But when I did it, the trick that I used was I ordered them to concentrate on infantry, not do counter battery, which most guns and players tend to want to do for some reason. I don't know if that proved decisive or helpful, but I'm a big fan of use the guns to kill the troops rather than the enemy artillery. I don't know how that worked out for me. You guys have to tell me as umpires. Otherwise, it was a fantastic plan by our commander-in-chief, General Thomas, also known as Lake Czarina, and I'm pretty happy with everyone and how they did. I want to thank everyone for being part of this. I want to congratulate the other team, and I want General Hardy to know that I have given the order for his body to be treated with the utmost respect, and brought back behind the line and cared for by our doctors. So there you go. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's hear from General Hardy.
So yeah, we as we moved and deployed out into our line, we saw the Union coming in. They arrived a little earlier than expected, so we couldn't get our right to completely form in before the cannon fire started going. But once we started maneuvering around, we saw the concentration onto the left, and Claiborne advanced forward. So I happened to co-locate at the time that he moved forward, and we saw a lot of Union troops still in column moving. So that's when I gave the order to advance forward and attack using Stewart to push behind him and hopefully collapse the right flank, which I'm seeing is slowly getting there. I wish it happened a little quicker, but such is life. And then with the Grand Battery firing that down onto Breckenridge, I brought some reinforcements that I hijacked from Stewart over and took Breckenridge's men. And well, there was some counter battery firing. I figured I can charge the gap and hope to silence some guns, which I partially did. And then it went all to black. But no, my men fought well. We did the best that we could, and sometimes they just don't fall your way.
Yep. Thank you. General Stewart.
First off, thank you to all the umpires and to all the other players. I was kind of the tail end Charlie of the Confederate line, and when we made our left hand turn to head north, once we crossed the river, everything kind of just got bottled up. And then, as General Hardy said, he came and he took a couple of my units, and at that point, it was just for me trying to catch up to the rest of the action. But overall, a good game, and thank you, everybody.
Thank you. General Thomas.
Yes, so as mentioned earlier, I was Union CIC. The overall plan that we had was to spread out along multiple avenues of advance and concentrate on a single point on the Confederate line. I know he's not here anymore, but I want to give a shout out to Negley. He was essentially first contact, is from what I heard, at least cannon fire wise, coming in from his main attack hit first. And so the hope was he was playing distraction for Brennan and Rousseau to come in and hopefully hit on that sector later on. And essentially what happened, sort of what I wanted to happen, was a steady trickle in of reinforcements so that we still had constant fighting going on, but not getting too jumbled up and too bunched up, which sort of happened. I was a little bit worried about that flank attack when it started to come in on Brennan's flank, but I knew Rousseau was coming in very quickly, and he'd be arriving at any moment, and he did, just in time. And it is a rare thing to have a plan, like a concept of a plan work out, because everything felt like clockwork. It's like, oh, there's a flank attack coming in. Well, here's this division coming in. It's like there's a change in plans. Well, we can just shift it and go into this direction. So it was rare to see, and I enjoyed it a lot. And looking at it now, I was definitely thinking we were doing a lot better, but it was a lot closer of a fight, and I must congratulate the opponents for going so far and getting as far as they did. And I wish you better luck in future games.
Thank you. All right, Breckenridge.
Thanks to the umpires for running this game. Congratulations to the Union players for winning. I had a lot of fun this game. The most fun I've had getting slapped around in a long time. I don't know what else to say other than I had fun, and we kind of knew early on that I was facing two divisions, and maybe possibly we could have done something a little bit earlier, but at the same time we still weren't sure. Um, I wasn't really frustrated the whole game despite despite getting my butt kicked. I think the only time I really felt frustrated was there was one where like one turn I had like a regiment by the river and there was like a limbered artillery battery on the other side with some Union regiments, and then the next turn there were three unlimbered Union batteries that just like appeared out of nowhere, and I had like two broken regiments or something like that, and that was kind of like what just happened. But other than that, I had a really fun time. I really appreciate the time that the GMs take to run a game like this without being able to participate themselves. So thank you all for the experience. I wish that we had won. We did not. Good luck against the Little Wars TV group in Lancaster if you guys are going to make the trip. Wish it was us going, but a well-earned victory.
Thank you. All right, Rousseau.
Hey, yeah, I got caught up trying to move cross country, and Thomas came up there with me, and we realized that we were just not making nearly the time we thought we would. So, luckily, only one brigade had gone cross country, so we sent the other two on the road, and then during that time, turned the brigade that was going cross country around to take up the rear of the column again. I think one of the hard things on this kind of closed terrain is that, at least for me, I felt like if I deployed into line early, it was going to take me an eternity to move that battle line forward to where I needed it to be. So I felt lucky that Brannon and Negley had both already gotten engaged by the time I showed up, because then I could take my brigades unengaged, deploy them along. Luckily, this road that ran west to east made a nice spot to deploy into line on. But yeah, it's tough with the closed terrain and stuff, but it is interesting to play on, and it was a fun scenario. Yeah, that's all I got to say. It's a fun game.
All right. And finally, Claiborne.
Yeah, like everyone else, my thanks to the opponents and to the umpires for a fantastic game. This is I think this is like one of those great wargaming experiences where you realize that it's opportunities and lost opportunities, and the lack of knowing where your enemy's at. All of those things just came together perfectly. I think um, we we spent a lot of time planning our deployment before this game and picking the terrain we wanted to fight on, and then we found out that we had. I think we found out the hard way that we had more units jammed into a space that we didn't truly appreciate just how far we could have stretched that line. Um, and so that created kind of a logjam for us in the on the right end of our line, and also caused some hesitation on my part to push forward early. And I wish I had, because we almost caught you guys on the road in column, but we just couldn't get there. And by the time we did get there, your lost brigade was showing up, or your lost division was showing up, and just plugged that gap. And it was just almost there. So one of those great experiences. I could tell stories about this game for a long time. Really, really appreciate it. It was a great way to spend the evening. Thank you all.
Thank you. Yeah, I like.
Yeah,
Oh,
I also forgot to mention that. Thank you, James. Thank you, Slock. Thank you, XTX. Thank you, G Puzzle. This was also a very great experience, and I know you guys don't get enough credit, and even though you get a lot of credit, but you still deserve more, because this is amazing. This was amazing.
thank you. Yeah, I liked seeing. This is probably the most concentration of a Civil War battle that I've ever seen in Kriegsspiel. I think realistically so. Normally, both armies try to like spread out for the longest line, and both armies were adequately concentrated here. Maybe because of the terrain, it was forced more funnel, but I liked the realistic deployment that both sides had. It was a lot of fun for the Little Wars TV Discord guys. You guys are welcome to play any Kriegsspiel game with us. if you're not already, come over to our server and sign up for any games that pop up on recruitment. There's a lot, maybe not as good.
Please
as
join the
this.
IKS.
Yeah, join the IKS. They might not be as good as this one, but there's good ones out there. And if you enjoyed it, you should play more with us. And thank you everyone for playing and spending your Friday night with us. And you're welcome to hang out and keep talking, but I'm going to end the recording and head out myself. So thank you.
Tell all your friends.
Yeah. IKS team onto York.
There we go. And I'm going to post my recording of the game as well.
Oh, good.
So.